guys, it's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Saturday night at 7 Eastern, so that means it's time for a card tutorial. Now I'm gonna just double check that I am actually, transmitilating over here, and I've got this. I don't know if y'all have noticed that Facebook has changed their whole schema, their whole way of doing business, and I used to be able to keep changing back, but now I can't, and so it's a little bit different to look at. So if I happen to miss a comment, let me see if maybe I click that, I can make bigger comments. There we go. Oh, hey, Jean, how are you? Hi, Rosie. Hi, Bree. Appreciate y'all joining. Hi, Patty Joe. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Do you guys know that we're like 20 days away from Christmas? Can you even believe that? Which means it's actually getting a little late to be making Christmas cards for you, but I figured what the heck, maybe you're still, behind like I am. Hi, Carol. Hi, Mary. Hi, Jewel. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Karen. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Janie. Hi, Serene. All right, let's get started if we could. Hi, Angie. I saw a card. I don't know if y'all followed the Festive Friday challenge, but I do. I like it. They give you a list of 10 or so different things, and you have to incorporate at least 3 of those into your card, and I think that's kind of fun. It's kind of like a tic-tac-toe, only a list. So I saw that this week, and I saw Beth McCullough is one of the design team members, and she had a sample, as design teams do. And it was this fun fold, and I really liked it, and I thought I would case it. So I went to her website, and I didn't find any instructions or card cuts or anything. I guess I should have scrolled down further to the comments because she had left the measurements, which I discovered later. But I decided to engineer it from the pictures that she had on her website. And this is what I came up with. Now hers has an adorable snowman that she made with circle punches, which I think is genius. So you're going to want to go check it, and you can see it if you go to the current Festive Friday challenge. But I used the In the Pines bundle, which, oh, by the way, moment of silence, this is retiring at the end of this catalog. And you will, starting on Tuesday, the 8th, with the end of your closeout, you'll be able to get the die set for 30% off, which is kind of big. So if you love this and you don't have it, hint, hint, you need it. Trust me on this. This would be a really great time to get it. So I used the In the Pines bundle, and this little die right here is fun because it cuts a negative out of a piece of cardstock. Isn't that cool? I love that. And then I used, because I really wanted straight up Christmas, not Season's Greetings or Thinking of You, I used Itty Bitty Christmas sentiments. I used both Season's Greetings, and then on the inside, you can see I have put Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and you can see how that fun fold works. Okay, so let's go ahead and make it. Now, in order to reverse engineer this, I did, you know how, I don't know if you know this, but did you know that tailors, when somehow, I don't know how they do it, to be quite honest, but they make like suits and stuff out of like sheet material first, and they make it all up, and then they make sure it fits good. So I made a fun fold card with printer paper so that I could figure out what the measurements were and all of that. And this is my fun fold card. Isn't that beautiful? I should just stamp a sentiment there and send it. It would be awesome. All right, so here we go. I don't want the, I know, Faith, I know. I'm so sorry that it is too, because I love it. I really do. Okay, so I've got some card stock already cut. You're gonna be glad of that, I'm certain. And we're going to start with a piece of Misty Moonlight. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it and fold it at 4 1/4. But I'm not going to fold it yet, okay? And while I have my score tool out, I'm going to take care of the folding portion of the fun fold, okay? This is a piece that is 5 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide. And I'm going to score at 4 inches, which, if you think about it, makes sense because that is a mat for me. And then again at 6 1/4. So I'm essentially splitting the difference between the leftover. And that is all I need my score tool for. So let's put that aside. And I'm going to put this aside. I don't need it quite yet. What I want to do is take a piece of my Snowflake Splendor DSP, and I'm going to mat it on a piece of Highland Heather, and I'm going to use liquid glue. Hi, Debbie. Christmas cards all mailed, but I'm thinking how I can use it. Absolutely, you could definitely do this if you have somebody who's got a winter birthday, itty bitty birthdays. What I like about that one is that so many of the sentiments work in the classic label punch, which is a really good size for this particular card. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue here in the center as well, because I'm fixing to cut this all out and I want it to stick together. I want it to stick together. Okay. Now, I'm going to adhere this with liquid glue around the edges, not really the center. Okay. And I'm going to adhere that to my card front. This has just become my card front. Okay. All right, and while that's kind of drying, let me set these things aside for just a second because I need to get my my skem out. And I'm going to use the largest of the rectangle dies from Stitched So Sweetly, my favorite die set here, just so you know, I'm just saying. And I'm going to cut a window right out of the center of this, okay? So let's get Mr. Skem over here. All right. Now this is probably going to shake the table. I apologize. All right, so I'm going to just center this right in the middle of the card front, but I'm going to only use one acrylic sheet underneath it. I had two under there. That wasn't okay. Come on. I've got my old magnet plate on here. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. Now, when I made the first one, I didn't cut them all at once, and so that took a little extra engineering. So this, I think, is a little easier. But you're going to have to do a little playing because it's a lot of cardstock to cut, okay? Sorry for the earthquake. Okay, and I'm just going to go through a couple of times. Remember, you're cutting like 2 layers of cardstock and a layer of paper, okay? So you got to give it a shot at cutting. We're going to pull that out and see if we got all the way through, and if not, which is quite possible. Okay, so I've got my top piece, which is fine. It's cut fine. And just pick it up. I got a little extra glue on there. And that's pretty good. So I'm just going to put the die back in place. I actually want that to come off, so I'm going to pick that up, okay? Hang on just a second, y'all. So you don't want to get too much glue on the inner part, and that's okay if that has a little bit of, we can get that off later. Okay, so you can see that that third piece didn't quite cut, which is fine. Just stick your die right back in the hole, as it were. And we're gonna recut just to finish off that die cut. Now, here's the thing. You can, in fact, if you want, you can cut the card front panel first, but then you're gonna have to do a little bit of laying out to be sure that you cut the card base exactly where you want it, okay? And then you have to do more making sure you've got it right when you adhere the card front to the card base. Did that make sense? Okay, so let me put this out the way. And we can start assembling. We're gonna assemble now. Now it's time to assemble. All right, we'll put this aside. And I'm just gonna scrape that off a little bit. Okay. Now, we'll fold our card base in half. give it a little burnish right here. Please don't shake the table. Don't want to spill my cranberry Moscato. I hope it didn't. I'm sorry. I should have warned you to hold on to your drink. Okay, now, here we go. To make this fold, we're going to fold, remember we scored at 4 inches and 6 1/4. So I'm going to fold the 4-inch score as a valley, and then the 6 1/4-inch score as a mountain, like so. And then I have 2 more pieces, coordinating pieces, not identical pieces, but coordinating pieces of the Snowflake Splendor, and we're going to adhere that when I locate where my glue just went. Where did my glue just go? Oh, there it is. Sure, clear off the side of the world over there. Don't even know why. All right. So I told Wayne tomorrow is the day we got to put our tree up. He is so excited. You just don't even know how excited he is. He's not. It doesn't excite him as much as it excites me until he sees the trees up, and then he's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Okay. Now, when you cut these, you can get a little bit head up like I did and cut 2 pieces so they're kind of coordinating and they go right next to each other. Or you can, you know, not worry about that. Just depends on how you want to roll with it. Okay, now I'm going to adhere this into the card with some liquid glue on this, and this is now becoming the mat for my inner liner, right? It's just exactly the same as always, only it has an extra little fold on it. So easy and also peasy. Okay, we'll just give that a little push like that. Okay. Now, where's my little die-cut? Here we go. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I don't like how that looks, and that's of course the part that's going to stick out. Oh wait, no wait, watch this. I wonder if I can make that work. Hang on just a second. That's going to put it in upside down, I think. But it might fit anyway, because you know it's just a die. Yep, it does. So I'm going to do that, which I actually kind of like how that looks. And let me show you why I did that. Because when I did my adhering, you see I've got this piece, so I want that side hidden by adhering it to this fold. Otherwise, it would show when your recipient opens the card. As it is now, it's going to be that pretty color like that. You could probably actually also just adhere that piece of Misty Moonlight to it, and then they would have this look. But I'm going to leave the extra thickness out. Okay? All right. So let's get that done. And I'm going to fold everything up like so and stick this back in the middle like so. And then open this up. And that's right where you want your panel to be, right? Okay, so I'm just going to use some liquid glue right in there. So I know where it's really kind of going to be. Close it back up and stick it back in its little hole, just like that. And that is how you make that do its thing. Just like so. Get over there now. And that's why you want to use liquid glue, so you can wiggle it and squiggle it and make it do its thing. Make it do what you want it to do until you're done with it. You're in charge, she says, as she messes it up. There we go. Needs to be pushed just a little bit over. There. Okay, and now it's right back in its slot, as it were. Okay. Now, before you came, I cut out a piece of Whisper White. Hey, Karen. And what I did is I used it's actually, if you look at it, it's the next largest Stitch So Sweetly. So I cut that, And really, because that's how it works out and it's easy to do, I ran it through my cutter with this right in place. So I was able to just take it through in one cut, okay? If you're not comfortable with that, cut your stitch so sweetly out and then cut the tree when you're done. Whichever works. Yeah, this is a really pretty pack of paper this time of year for sure. Okay, now I'm going to take some dimensionals and put on the back of this tree. Just like this. And I'm going to use a few because I really kind of want it to pop good and stay popped. I want it to stay popped, which is different than, it's different than almost anything, I suppose. I'll take these off like so. So we went to Costco and Sam's today. It was a Costco Sam's kind of day, and it was okay. It really hit home that COVID is now starting to make an impact on us. Mostly things have been normal, but today we decided that instead of waiting in the 75 car line to get Popeyes, which is our normal when we go over there, we would get a Costco hot dog, because we had not had a Costco hot dog in forever and a Sunday, and we did. Well, you can't eat them there, and usually you can get ketchup, mustard, relish, and sauerkraut for a good hot dog. I mean, if you're going to eat a hot dog, go big, right? No, all they had was mustard and ketchup, and we had to go eat it in the car. It was like, okay, now this is really starting to be a thing. And no, I'm not making light of COVID at all, okay? I know, I am not making light of COVID. Okay, so I've just popped that on. And now we're going to make a little sentiment. And so I have a sentiment from I have a sentiment from Misty Moonlight. I missed a spot, I know. From Misty Moonlight in Itty Bitty Christmas. No, it's from Itty Bitty Christmas. And I'm going to stamp it in Misty Moonlight on a piece of Whisper White. Like a so. And it doesn't really matter if it's straight because I'm going to punch it. Punch it out. I'm going to punch it. All right. Classic label punch. Love it. Y'all remember, the darker colors can take an extra little second or two to dry. So give your stamped images and sentiments time to dry, so that you don't end up with a smear that you have to repeat. Okay, so I'm just going to center that in the die, or this is a punch, not a die. Hello. Punch, not a die. There we go. And once again, I'm going to use some more dimensionals because there's really no such thing. Anybody who thinks there's too many dimensionals is, well, okay, wrong. There's just no such thing. And I'm going to pop that onto my card front. And I'm going to use my Twizzlers because that makes me happy. Thanks, Julie. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate it. Oh, good. I hope so. I hope so. I think it's cute. Hers is adorable. Okay, and I'm just centering this left to right and kind of in the middle of that die cut trunk, like so. And because a little bling is never a bad thing, I'm using, these are the blue adhesive back gems, and I'm using the bluer of the blue ones, okay? The others are darker. This one is the lighter blue. And I'm just going to stick one right there. Okay, so that is the card front. Now we'll make us an innards. Let's make us an innards. And to do that, I am going to stamp my second sentiment from Itty Bitty Christmas in Misty Moonlight on my Whisper White panel. Remember my tip, whenever you use a clear stamp where you can't see through it, like with the photopolymers, or this is a cling stamp now, do a stamp once on your grid paper so that you can make sure it's straight. I've already done that, and I'm happy with its straightness. So I'm just going to go directly to the panel. Okay, and we'll let that dry for a second because I'm going to stamp over the top of it, and I don't want to smear that. Let it dry, let it dry, let it dry. Let it dry, let it dry. Oh, and I saw another thing at Costco that actually made me happy today. So a lot of people, you know, Costco and Sam's really, Costco has for a long time made it mandatory to wear a mask in. But you always saw people who, especially earlier in this whole mess, you saw people who would wear them in and then they would drop them down below their face. And nobody really said anything. But I saw a manager today ask a lady to put her mask back up over her nose because she had it down, like, down between her nose and her mouth. And that doesn't even work. We know that doesn't work, right? Okay. So I'm going to take the outline image of these trees, one of my favorite tree images ever, and I'm going to miss it a lot, from In the Woods, and I'm going to ink it in Highland Heather and stamp it off once, and then stamp it right over the top of the sentiment. And then we'll do the same exact thing with the fill image. Stamp it off once and stamp it over the top of the image. And then I think I will add a little bit of snow. It needs snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Okay, and I'm using Pool Party and this little snow image, which is from In the Pines, and I'm going to stamp it off once as well, and then just stamp it above the snow, above the trees like that. Very faint. Okay, and that is our innards. Now, while I have my ink out, why don't I be smart about this? Hello. And stamp my envelope front. So let's see. Outline first. I'm going to do this in full strength. I'm not trying to go over the top of anything. So we're going to do full strength outline and full strength fill. And what I love about this stamp set, and this image in particular, is you do get the variation of the fill without having to stamp it off because of the way they've created this stamp. So it's really cool. I loves it. I'm wondering why you went to, since I'm retired, I go to bed. But I know, but this week has just been hectic as it could be. And it was a cauliflower and lettuce emergency, okay? I was totally out, like zero, for 2 days I've been out of cauliflower rice, which is not acceptable. And for like 4 days I've been out of my pre-shredded lettuce. So it was getting ugly in the eating department for Mary, and it was an emergency. I had to do it. I had to, because otherwise, you are correct, I absolutely would not go during the week or on the weekend, because especially now as people are kind of feeling more confident about going out and they're doing their Christmas shopping, right? So yeah, no, you are correct. It was a fail. And we actually said that as we were in the parking lot walking in. It was like, why? I'm asking you why. Why are we doing this? Also, old habits die hard, right? Okay, so I'm just going to put some of this Snowflake Splendor on the envelope flap. Give it a good rub and trim it with our scissors. And then I'll adhere the inner liner into the card, and it's done. It's done, ya. I says to you, it is done, ya. So it's easy too. I like that it's easy, but it's kind of fun. It's fun. It's definitely different than the ones I'm used to making, and I kind of like that. All right. I kind of get that I have a local farm that still has my lettuce and cauliflower 3 months. Yeah, there you go. Well, we buy the cauliflower rice, the frozen ones, so I bought a bunch. Especially now that we've got a chest freezer, so I'm not quite so crammed on space. I bought a bunch of cauliflower. I am almost ashamed to tell you how much cauliflower rice I eat. I'll bet I eat cauliflower rice nearly once a day, which is, I'm a little tired of cauliflower rice, not gonna fib. Okay. And then because I can and because I like them and I think they're pretty, I'm going to go ahead and put another one of these little gems in here. They're so frosty blue. I like it. I'm gonna put it right there. Okay. And there you go. Easy peasy. Nice and squeezy. And so stinking cute. Okay, remember you guys, In the Pines is going away. Don't miss it, okay? And it's a gorgeous set. I would hop on Tuesday, first jump out of the box and get the bundle if you can. And if not, if you don't want the bundle and you just want those dies, then get those for 30% off. But you can get 30% on the dies and the stamp set is full price, so it's still a good deal. All right? So I hope I will see y'all busy online on Tuesday, and I hope I will see you back on Thursday at 1 o'clock for my YouTube tutorial. Don't know what we're going to do, but it'll be something, and I hope you'll like it. All right, thank you so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in a few. Bye-bye.